everybody. I'm on here on this drive to my doctor's appointment, so I got a little bit of time to come and chat with y'all. I need to catch up on a few videos. And so today we're gonna talk about Love and Hip-Hop Atlanta really fast. Now I'm sorry y'all if you get a little bumpy. You know they will never take taxpayers' money and actually fix these motherfucking potholes. All these damn potholes in these streets they refuse to fix. God dang, stealing the taxpayers' money. But yeah, y'all, I'm on the way to the doctor's appointment, so really fast I want to just come and give a little review on Love and Hip-Hop Atlanta. Honestly, wasn't like too much. Don't you pull your ass out. Don't you do it. I wanted to come and talk about this episode, y'all. I watched it like 1.5 times. So, but honestly, it wasn't like too much. You know, we're still talking about this Karlie and Spice storyline. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So honestly, I think we opened up with everybody that was like splitting up in different directions. It was Amy, Jessica White, Bambi, in the hot tub. They wasn't really doing shit. Y'all know Jessica too. She a little quirky. She was like Sierra said, like Jessica, she pretty and everything, but you always know them girls that are just so gorgeous but low-key crazy. I think that's Jessica. I really do. And Amy talking about Jessica tried to creep in her room, trying to come in there and get a little punani. Jessica, are you out the closet or are you just one of them looker lesbians? You know, they was kissing lesbians, okay? You one of them girls who get liquored up and then become lesbian. Is that the one? Is that the type that you are? But yeah, so they wasn't much. They was in the hot tub. Ozell was there too. Bambi talking about she pissed in the water. I don't think there's, you lying if you've ever said you ain't ever peed in a pool or hot tub. Amy got dragged into the water. I low-key would have digged Jessica taking me under that pissy water with my full head of with my full face with makeup and my whole weave situation. But after that, I think they all met up at the table and caught up with everybody. This is where we gotta have the conversation of feeling like, oh no, what it was Amy, Karlie, and I think Sierra and Bambi were all basically just talking about how they feel like don't nobody, hold Spice accountable, which is kind of the truth. Like everybody is tiptoeing around Spice because it's like, oh, don't want to hurt her feelings, or they see how her reaction most of the time typically is. So when they all go sit down at the table, Bambi kind of sticks up for Karlie in the extent of feeling like, who check on Karlie, like who make sure Karlie is okay. And she's like, the thing that is really trippy about the situation is because things got, dang near physical, or did get physical. And so Karlie was like, yep, that's it. And so Yandy spoke up a little bit, and Karlie was like, but for real, Yandy, like I ain't heard nobody at this table really check Spice and hold her accountable. Like what you did was wrong. And Yandy was like, well, just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean, it didn't happen. And that could be true. Like that very much could be true behind the scenes, just like Sierra said to them at the table last time. Like I told Spice that, she was wrong or whatever, but Spice looked like, tried to look like dumbfounded when she said it. But at the end of the day, like, we all saw how Spice was acting last season. And she was acting a plumb fool, trying to go after Karlie. She was yelling at Bambi at the table. She was on one. And especially got everybody baffled, being that Spice, you had this whole spiel about how, oh, you almost was out of here because you wanted to go and get your body replumped. And you was on the table and dang near, like I said, was called to glory. So you talking about this whole healing journey, but yet you acting like this. I'm gonna park for a second, y'all, because I really don't like driving and it getting bumpy. And plus, I'm trying to decide if I want to eat donuts and a nice little jalapeno collage, or if I want to go to Mickey D's and get me a sausage biscuit bundle. I love me a good, y'all, jalapeno collage and a blueberry cake donut. The spicy with the sweet. Love it. But yeah, so yeah, it just kind of had, Karlie feeling some type of way. And so Yandy was like, yeah, doesn't mean it didn't happen. And so Karlie also kind of spoke up and was like, it kind of feels like, dang, who check up on me? And Yandy was like, well, I asked you, to go hang out. I asked you to go do something. And Karlie was like, Yandy, no, it be me, girl. It be me. And she was like, really, you feel that way? She was like, yeah. And Karlie, I understand why Karlie kind of felt like everybody subtly was siding with Spice, because if y'all ain't checking in on Karlie or asking how she's feeling, and y'all go radio silent on her, like Rashida is giving, you didn't check in on Karlie, Yandy, you didn't check in on Karlie. So no wonder Karlie's feeling like, well, clearly y'all siding with Spice. But at the end of the day, even Rennie has said it. She's like, I do kind of, don't go as hard on Spice because, she's a single mother. And of course, her and Rennie were kind of on this healing journey together. And so I think Rennie does kind of like, not really touch on the basis that needed to happen with Spice, because they do have that kind of like relationship or whatever. But nonetheless, Yandy was like, well, dang, maybe I'm not being a good friend to Karlie. I got so much going on in my life, with Mendeeces and everything like that. We're gonna get into Mendeeces ass too, with Mendeeces, and I just really don't have time for Karlie, and I feel bad about that. So they all leave. The plan for the day is to go skiing. Everybody went skiing. Everybody's still worried if Spice is gonna come, because y'all know she talking about she wasn't showing up, but she ended up showing up to go ski and everything like that. She finally in the confessional was like, yeah, I just needed to take time and understand, maybe there are some things that I could have done better and that I need to be accountable for. And she's like, that's what this trip is about, and that's what I want to do. So they're all in the car. Rennie ends up not going because she was sick, and Sierra was sick too. And it brought up how the last trip where Sierra was sick and they they were pranking Sierra with being pregnant, because they were like, oh, she throwing up, oh, she ain't pregnant. Sierra, oh my God, y'all, that was such literally a viral moment, because they played that damn prank on Sierra, talking about, you pregnant, Sierra? Her face, and y'all know she got all that damn chicken grease and silly putty inside her cheeks, and lips were just hanging. Oh Lord, Sierra was hurt. And the fact that you immediately started crying, and you was in a relationship at the time with BK, and you was crying about getting pregnant, girl, that means he was not the right nigga for you, which we already know BK was trash. But that the fact that was your immediate reaction, girl, it's a good thing it was a prank, or I had to turn into a little heaven, baby. I am pro-choice. Ladies, use your rights. Pro-choice, okay? Do not just be having babies with Ann out here, period. But yeah, so Sierra, Rennie, Rucci, they stay back. Everybody goes skiing. Zell talking about, I ain't trying to bust it. And Karlie talking about, yeah, I can't, she's like, I ain't got a problem. I ain't getting ready to break nothing. This coochie is, is good. How do you think I get a man to propose in 10 days? I said, Karlie, I mean, possibly Karlie might do got something special over there, and that lopsided booty with its gravitational pull. I don't know. It's either you got, a coochie of gold or a throat of gold. If you know what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, Karlie, all them rings and proposals don't mean nothing if all the niggas is, trash. But yeah, so they do the skiing, and because Spice came, this is where they do the performance. And, you know, Spice was like, you know, I'm going to take this moment, you know, to take accountability, be responsible. And so Amy, she was performing. She's like, yeah, you know, I'm glad that I got this performance and everything, but this crowd is looking a little, you know, saltine cracker. It's giving real Caucasian, and I don't know if they're ready for the music, you know, that I do. But she took it as a moment to be, as you know, they say, more commercial. You know, when you do music and things, you got to make sure you can be a little PC. So she basically gave the clean version of her song. And then finally Spice came up, and then she was like, you know, she performed her song. And then after that, she was like, you know, I want to take this moment to, you know, perform a song that I've never done before. You know, it's the one song that I've never done, and I need to do it with somebody. But before, you know, I do it with this person, and everybody's like, you know, on pins and needles because they were waiting to see what she means. And finally, when she was like, you know, I would love to perform with this person, if they're willing to accept my apology, you know, they're my friend and I'm sorry. And immediately Karlie started crying. Everyone was like, ah. And so she's like, if you would love to, you know, accept my apology and come up here and perform, you know, I would love it. And Karlie ran up there and they performed the song or whatever. And it made everybody feel like, damn, finally, like, y'all made up, because this was getting old. It was getting whack. Y'all been friends forever. And at the end of the day, after Spice heard from Bambi that Karlie was, you know, taking accountability for her part, which she did. Spice, that's the crazy part to me, because when you wrote her that 6-page letter and you met with her at the park, Karlie apologized at that moment. So I don't know why you're acting like you didn't hear Karlie yourself say, you know, that she was, you know, feeling bad for the stuff that you wrote in the letters. Am I tripping? Did Karlie not acknowledge that at the park? I really feel like she did. So, the fact that Spice is acting like, oh, you know, to hear that Karlie's taking accountability, she said it to you, to your face. I just think Spice wanted to punish Karlie in a way. But yeah, they finally made up and whatnot. After they made up, who was it? Yandy, she called Mendeeces. They still not good, and he talking about, you know, we got to work on things, and Yandy worried. They all go back to the room, and Sierra and Rennie, they just basically were just talking about stuff. Sierra ordered food and then just, you know, gussied it up with her seasonings. She's like, well, you know, I ain't gonna cook, but you know, sometimes you order food and then you just, you know, do a little whipping, a little salt, you know, add your zhuzh to it, basically. I don't never got no problem with that. If, you know, you order maybe some chicken aside, this, that, and then you mix and put whatever in it of your additives, then, you know, sometimes that's the easy way out. So be it. But when they were all eating and Spice was like, oh, Karlie, hand me your plate, I'll give you mashed potatoes, Sierra was like, huh? She was like, wait a minute, you talking to Karlie? And she was like, yeah. Everybody's like, they made up. And they're like, what? And so they explained the story about what happened. You know, how Spice, you know, apologized and called her on stage and all that type of stuff. And Sierra was just like, you know, finally, this is such a good moment. Because, you know, they do have a good friendship. And, you know, not wanting to drag it out, essentially. So everybody's back. And we see the moment where, you know, Yandy and Mendeeces, you know, gotta talk to each other. And she was like, yeah, you know, babe, I was just really missing you. I'm missing you. Okay. And she was like, yeah, you know, and she mentioned something about, like, you know, having to carry the bags myself. Like, damn, he was like, oh, that's all I'm good for. And I rolled my eyes because it almost feels like Mendeeces has it set in his mind that Yandy doesn't view him. Like, in his mind, I think he's, like, just convinced himself of things with Yandy, because at the end of the day, I know he has some insecurities about the fact that Yandy was handling with that like she had to. I think a lot of men get themselves, you know, wrapped up in this idea that women are just supposed to, like, not make it and not be okay without them. Like, that, y'all got that ass backwards. Like, y'all really do. And so he was like, yeah, I'm starting to feel like, a single parent. He said that he was like, yeah, you were gone for a week. She was like 5 days. Not to mention, you were supposed to be there with me. So don't put it on her like she's making the decision to take a week trip and just, not fill you in on it, or like leave you to take care of the kids while I go and have fun for 5 days. You were supposed to go with her, Mendeeces. So let's not do that, first of all. Secondly, it's real. You see how, I'm starting to feel like a single parent. Oh, so you're starting to see how Yandy was feeling for 5 years while your ass was gone. Honestly, instead of complaining about it, you should see it in the way of like, dang, I appreciate Yandy so much more because she did this, while I was locked up. Like, this is what it feels like to do shit alone. But instead, you want to like punish her because you feel like, oh, you ain't taking care of your household. Now, is there some things that Yandy could probably do better as far as like, now, yes, Yandy, he is home. So you do have to consult with your husband. But Yandy is still in the mindset of you were gone. Like, it's hard to break a pattern that somebody's had to do for the longest. She had to just get up and go. She didn't have to consult you, for 5 years. So you need to give her some grace with that. And so they ended up moving to the other room, and she basically was like, Mendeeces, what you need, like, you have to communicate that. Like, what is it that you're needing from me? He was like, you just like get up and do these things, and it's starting to feel like you're like, he's basically saying like, it feels like you're trying to do some get back because you had to like hold it down for 4 years. He's taking it as get back, and Yandy's viewing it as like, no, I'm just trying to do all the things that I had to put on hold, because I was handling things while your ass was locked up, okay? So, the fact that he's trying to turn it into a get back thing means he's looking for a reason to like villainize her. You want to villainize her for trying to do things that she put on hold to take care of your ass in the household. Bro, the reason that you have money on your books is because Yandy was out here doing the pop-ups, the showings, the hosting, the gigs, and while you in jail trying to turn it into, oh, it looks like you was out there just partying. Oh no, I was doing what was needed to done to make sure these bills was paid, to make sure you had enough money on your books for ramen noodles and ho-hos, nigga. Like, let's not. And so when he was like, then he turned it into, what did he say? He was like, yeah, I just think we need to talk to somebody, before it gets any worse. Because at the end of the day, it's just kind of feeling like, you're not really paying attention to the household. She's like, so what do you need from me? He's like, I need you to, do wifely things. Like, that's what it is. Like, he's wanting her to step back down, because he's like, I get it that you had to act this way, that I'm gone, but like, I'm here now. And so he's like, he's talking about, oh, do wifely things, pay attention to your household. What the f do you mean pay attention to your household? First of all, Mendeeces Mendeeces Jr., ain't he like a teenager? Like, I'm confused. I don't think they have like young kids besides a daughter or something like that. And so by pay attention to your household, what you really mean is pay attention to me and make me feel better about the fact that I'm home and I'm supposed to be the man of the house. That's really what he mean. And so Yandy was like express, what is it? And he was like, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of feeling like, I'm not feeling no love from you. So she's like, you don't think I love you? Like, you don't feel like I love you? And he just kind of was like, no. And Yandy was like, wow, okay, wow. You don't feel like I love you? But best believe love is the only reason why I tolerated this shit with you. Mendeeces, are you forgetting that Yandy went through with your ass? From taking care of your kids, to dealing with baby mamas, to dealing with your exes, to paying your like, logically, Yandy should have been out. Like she said, a lot of people was telling me to separate myself from this bull. But as most women do, because they love somebody, they stick through it. And the fact that you are turning into, oh, I don't feel love from you, like, I really feel like this is some self-sabotage bullshit, because he's really feeling, you know, insecure about the fact that now he's home and Yandy's not falling back into this wifely place. Like, in his mind, the minute he got home, Yandy, like he said, like, you know, you were supposed to do your wifely things, pay attention to the household. Yandy put her life on hold, like she said, for 4 or 5 years. I didn't do the things that, you know, I wanted to do, because I was trying to, you know, hold it down for you while you was locked up. And so now that I can do it, like, of course she wants to do those things. And like I said, the fact that he's trying to villainize her, and it's like, oh, it's starting to feel like some get back, that's how you're taking it. You're trying to turn it to like she's trying to do get back, instead of you feeling like, you know, Yandy, you held me down. I'm sure there was a lot of things that you want to do. He's asking her to slow down. So yes, there's a compromise. Do I believe Yandy probably, you know, is getting up and not really considering him and just not asking him because out of, you know, her mental space, that's what she's had to do. So on Yandy's side, she could probably do better at that, on like actually consulting him more. But as far as, you know, her not doing things and not trying to go for things because she doesn't want you to take it as get back, we're not doing that, Mendeeces. Especially after the fact that when your ass was asked, would you hold Yandy down for 4 years? You gave a real nonchalant, I don't know ass answer that had everybody looking at you with a good eye, okay? Your woman held you down, and then when the question was reversed, when it was Uno reversed, if you would do the same, you can't even answer with certainty with a hell yeah. That's why we say you can't give your life to these niggas, because they will throw it back in your face. What they say when you talk about, oh, my nigga would never, is when your nigga start nevering up before. You can't do it, okay? You can't do it. But yeah, now we at this point of them trying to figure out their life and their marriage. You know, we ain't got no divorce announcement, so I guess that's a good thing so far. But what y'all think about Yandy and Mendeeces, about how Mendeeces is feeling about Yandy, you know, not doing her wifely duties? Do y'all believe she's trying to get some get back to Mendeeces? Y'all agree with him? As far as Spice and Karlie, do you feel like Spice, you know, was genuine in her apology this time? I do feel like Spice finally had some people point out to her, like, girl, I ain't gonna lie, you looking crazy. You know, the fact that you tried to kangaroo kick Karlie last season and was bouncing off the walls, because even Amy was like, girl, I was right there when you tried to like attack Karlie. So let's not act like it didn't happen. But yeah, I'm trying to think if anything else happened in the episode. They performed, they went skiing, Yandy, Mendeeces. Yeah, I really feel like that was it, y'all. So yeah, like I said, tell me what you feel about the episode. Drop down in the comments. I think I'm gonna go run over here and get me some donuts, go to this doctor's appointment. Then I may come back and talk about a couple of topics that was in the headlines. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I will catch y'all hoes later. Deuces.